Hey, Mr. Loggery here. We're going to do a quick exponent review, and then I'm going to show you something called the power rule, okay? We're going to go over exponents briefly. Remember, 3 to the fourth is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That's expanded form. 3 is the base. 4 is the exponent. That's the terminology we use when we're doing exponents. The exponent tells you how many times to write the base. What we do not do, we do not multiply the base and the exponent together. You don't do 3 times 4. If you're going to do that, you would write it as 3 times 4. But this is not what we do when we have an exponent. It's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Exponents only have power over what is immediately in front of them. Okay? So unless it's in parentheses, if you have something like 5x squared, that 2 exponent is only affecting the x. So in expanded form, that would be 5 times x, okay? If you want the exponent to be part of everything, you have to put it in parentheses. If you add 5x squared like that, then you have a situation where you got 5x times 5x. Okay, so let's review real quick. I'm going to show you some shortcuts on multiplying and dividing now that you've been working on them for a while, okay? Usually we write these out in expanded form and you've been canceling stuff. Now you can just cancel it straight with the exponents. You're going to subtract, okay? And what you do is you subtract them, and whichever, if the top has a bigger number, then your variable stays on the top. If the bottom's bigger, it stays there. But what you do is you mark that out, and we know there is a 5. 8 minus 3 is 5, so there's 5 left over up here. Then we cancel here. 7 and 14 reduces. You get 2, so our final answer will be 2m to the 5th. Because 14 divided by 7 is 2, and the m's are on top. Okay? What you can do whenever you're multiplying these, you add them instead. So what we do, the coefficients, these numbers in the front, you multiply those together and you'll get negative 40. Then you just add up all your letters. Y to the third plus y to the, times y to the 5th is y to the 8th. So you do 5 plus 3. Z to the 8 times z to the 1 is z to the 9 because you add those. And that's how you get it. If you want to write them out in expanded form and cancel and count stuff up, have at it. But you can use these shortcuts now that we've been working on them for a few days, all right? Now I want to talk to you about something called the power of a power rule. What that means is you have an exponent and you take it to another exponent. So when exponents appear inside and outside of parentheses, here's the rule. You multiply the two exponents together to simplify it, okay? So if we have 4 to the third power, and then we're taking that to the fourth power, you get 4, and then your exponent is 3 times 4, so you get 4 to the 12. Same thing down here, x to the 5th, and you take that to the second power. You multiply those exponents right here, and you get 5 times 2 is 10, so x to the 10th. So let's see what this looks like. 3 to the second to the third is 3 to the 2 times 3. So you get 3 to the 6. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video. See if you can do these other two. And then I'll work them right now. And you can see if you got them right. So 2 to the 4th to the second is 2 to the 4 times 2, which is 2 to the 8th. X to the 3rd to the 5th is x to the 3 times 5, which is x to the 15. Okay, let's move to the next one. All right, 5 to the 2 to the 8 is 5 to the 2 times 8, which is 5 to the 16. That's a big number. X to the 3rd to the 4th x to the 3 times 4. So you get x to the 12. Now let's look at them when there's a coefficient, okay? We can still do this. Remember, when you have a coefficient like this, that number in front is really a 1 in front of these, okay? So you're just going to split them up. Do it the same way. So you're going to have 2 to the 1 times 3, x to the 3 times 3. So 2 to the third, because 3 times 1 is 3, x to the 9, and then 2 to the third power, that's 2 times 2 times 2. That gives you 8x to the 9. Use a calculator on these coefficients up here. A coefficient is just a number in front of the letters right here, okay? On this one over here, we're going to have negative 4 to the 1 times 5 and x to the 3 times 5. So you'll have negative 4 to the 5th power, x to the 15. Negative 4 to the 5th power, use a calculator for this. It'll do it for you. You get negative 1024 x to the 15. And that's your answer. All right. Good luck, guys.